after the power outage, the Ravens did stop the Niners, did get the ball back and were stopped, and then Colin Kaepernick began to get hot as Michael Crabtree, the defense didn't wrap him up. He takes it in. It was an 80-yard, 7-play drive, and then on the next possession, after the Niners got a good defensive stop and then a terrible punt, allowed them to get quality field position, the inconvenient truth rumbles into the end zone to make it now a one-possession game just like that. And Haloti Ngata was finished for the night on that play as well. Oh, hold on a minute. As Ed Reed is coming on the set right now, Ray Rice fumbled the football. And on the ensuing Ravens possession that led to an Akers field goal. Colin Kaepernick now on the next Niners possession sets a record for the longest touchdown run by a quarterback in Super Bowl history, breaking Joe Montana's previous record of 6. That thing was for 15 yards. And the ensuing Ravens possession, Flacco.
Great play, Niners. Great play, folks. We played that. We played that segment because we all love football. But no, this program is not about football. It's about the businesses around football. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the new stimulus package. And we have a good show lined up for you today. In the studio with me today is my co-host, Fred Jordan. And we have Mr. Jason Tremieux, the Vice President of the Community Relations for San Francisco Bay Area Super Bowl Host Committee, Super Bowl 50, in the studio with us today. The upcoming Super Bowl, Jason
Tremieux.
Tremieux, right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
He's the host committee.
The host committee.
Yeah, he's representing the host committee.
Now, so what we were just talking about was, can you explain what the host committee is?
Sure.
Some new viewers.
In short, the host committee is responsible for preparing the region to host Super Bowl 50, which is going to be held at Levi Stadium on February the 7th, 2016. So we still have to play Super Bowl 49 in Glendale, Arizona. But as soon as February 2nd of 2015 hits, all eyes will be on the Bay Area. A full year of activities are planned. And the host committee has a lot of responsibility for making sure that this region is excited about Super Bowl, and importantly for the discussion that we're having, is benefiting from Super Bowl being here.
And there's some events happening that are coming up where businesses can get involved with Super Bowl. You want to explain that again, please?
Sure. So we actually had our first launch event yesterday at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, and tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. at Moscone Center West at 800 Howard Street. We will gather again the same program to launch Business Connect, which is the supplier diversity program of the NFL that we run here locally to make sure that local diverse businesses connect to contracting opportunities related to Super Bowl 50.
Okay, now there's something I wanted to ask you about. Television really changed my life. At one time, I was a youngster. And I was sort of going the wrong way, and this television, it really, I did something, I edited, and it came on TV, and it sort of changed my life. I could do something, instead of doing the wrong thing. Now, would it be a possibility for you to arrange for some youngsters to hang around with the crew at the Super Bowl? Of course, you have a lot of cameras. I guess you got about 10 cameras, or you got a lot of cameras hanging in there. So would that be a possibility if we got some youngsters? Because that would really motivate them, just being there and being around the camera and being in the control room. I mean, it would be a gas.
What I would say about that is I don't have a specific answer to that question. I don't have responsibility for how the media happens in the actual Super Bowl event. That said, we have already begun discussions about how to we want this Super Bowl to be the most shared. And what we mean by that is, of course, we're in the heart of Silicon Valley, the home of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these platforms whereby people share their lives. Well, certainly that's going to happen through Super Bowl. But more than that, we actually want to talk about the digital arts. we want to find ways to connect. We have some amazing digital art programs in our communities, some of whom I've been personally affiliated with. Again, through our philanthropic efforts, through the 50 Fund, which will launch in December, just in a few weeks, we would want to see organizations that are working with young people around the digital arts to tell us what they're doing, tell us how they're incorporating media, which is such a powerful thing, as you said, and certainly will be on full display, as it always is with the Super Bowl. And I think there will be some interesting opportunities for us to create for young people to engage with the media process that's going to happen through Super Bowl. I have colleagues that are working with our media partners, and I think it's very much something that we would consider in terms of how can we connect our young people that are working in this field and want to learn more about this field to arguably one of the most watched events, not even arguably, no question about one of the most watched events globally. And Super Bowl 50 is going to be off the charts in that way.
Well, I have to say that, I have to say that they really chose the right person to represent them and to bring what they're trying to do to the community, man, because you really, I mean, you're really concerned and you're really trying to get, the community involved. I know you're busy and you run from one studio to get over here, and it's 4:30 in San Francisco. You don't just get from point B to point A just like that. So I really appreciate that.
Well, excuse me, Ken, but let me ask you another follow-on question. So who will be the big buyer, the big purchaser? I mean, in this whole thing, and will in fact your philosophy, which is great, will that carry over to the NFL purchasing policy also?
That's a great question. And so from day one, I've been on the phone with both the NFL. They have a program manager for this program. Her name is Tisha Ford. She's an outstanding advocate for small businesses. She's been running the program for the last 9 years, so she has a lot of history with the program. I've been speaking to those contractors, telling them that these are the businesses that we're working with, and we want them to use these businesses as well. Now, the big purchasers it really varies from Super Bowl to Super Bowl. The challenge, not for this program, but the challenge generally is each Super Bowl is different depending on the local market and what the NFL wants to do in that market. Just last week, we had about 100 representatives from both the NFL, their sponsors, their corporate sponsors, some of the agencies that work with those corporate sponsors to put on the events, and they toured for 2 days sites throughout the Bay Area, in San Francisco, in Santa Clara, in Oakland, different parts of the Bay Area, looking at the venues where they want to have the events. Once they make more determinations about what those events will be, we will have a better sense of the size of the events and therefore what the economic impact of those events will be.
Okay, now I have a friend. Matter of fact, I'm working with Mr. Michael Johnson, who recently started managing the Edition.
That's right.
It used to be the Yoshi's, and he has a 4-star club venue there.
That's a 5-star, in my opinion. Yes.
Yeah, I mean a 5-star a venue there, and would it be possible for you to talk to the head people to have something down there? It's in the historic Jazz District. Yeah. The Fillmore District, and it's. Have you guys been in that area to look at that place?
I don't know the full list of venues that we've currently looked at, but I know that list can be added to. And if the Edition is not on that list, we can get them on that list. I say that with confidence because what we are interested in is making sure that the NFL and its key contractors and all of the events have the best of what we have to offer. And having personally been in that venue, it is among the best that we have to offer. So those are the types of things that we need to do now is identify those types of venues, those types obviously through Business Connect, the vendors, the potential suppliers, all of these things. We are. On one hand, 14 months or 15 months sounds like a long time. It's not a long time.
It goes fast.
But I'm grateful that we start early so that we can make sure that every business owner is aware of what the opportunity is, and we can connect them to it so that they can be aware, be informed, and make the choice themselves as to whether or not they want to compete for that.
So this meeting tomorrow, is that what this is about? Would a representative from the Edition go down and meet the people, or would we wait till you call us, or how would that? The meeting tomorrow. Now is that not? Now check this out. Now, I have another friend who's an author. He's a motivator, a writer. He recently did a film on some young ladies out of Oakland, a rough area, who were using basketball as a way out of the ghetto, as a safe haven.
Right.
And he recently finished his film. Now, would it be possible for him to show a piece of that film during the Super Bowl?
So
Or maybe when people are coming in or something. I know that the time of the Super Bowl it's
Right.
really expensive, and
Right.
I know it wouldn't be shown then. But maybe as people are coming in, or maybe as people are leaving, they can say, "Hey, watch this," and put it up there or something like that.
Well-
He can buy a spot, maybe $1 million a minute. or
No,
something
no,
like that.
no.
Is
I'm
that what
saying
it-
no. What I'm saying is that it don't have to come on TV, or maybe if they could work that. But when people are leaving or coming into the place, they would have an opportunity to see what this man is doing. His name is Robert Bolden. Friends call him Fleetwood. And by the way, this Saturday they're having a screening of the film at the West Bay Conference Center. That's here in San Francisco on Fillmore and Eddy. Let me show you that. That trailer. It's just really something special.
I'm living in one of the dangerous cities in the country, and that's hard to say. Some people may not realize that Oakland is very difficult to live in. You have a lot of poverty, you have drugs, you have a lot of violence around you, and it's just hard to not be a part of that. So I feel like basketball was my way out.
You don't even know how these streets are changing so.
Dreams come to pass.
All the dreams that come to pass.
Never give in.
Never give in. Never give in of your dreams.
Yeah, I left home, came back on another level. Old friends doing the same. They ain't getting better. Old coon still chasing chips, flipping more cheddar. Lord, how soon till it get there? We all come together, searching for that sunny spot in paradise, up in heaven, working every day and night.
Well, anyway, that's is that a possibility?
So I'll answer it this way. So with regards to the actual what happens in the stadium or even around around media, we have very, very little, if any, control as a host committee. But this I will say. We want that story and others, the countless others of stories that we can find that tell about the good work that people are doing in communities, to be a part of the overall Super Bowl story. Now, the way we want to do that is I want to tell you about another program that I'm responsible for,
Okay.
which is our Legacy Fund. So we have set an objective for Super Bowl 50 to be the most philanthropic Super Bowl ever. And that means we want to raise and distribute grants to nonprofit organizations throughout the Bay Area. So traditionally how this works for Super Bowl is the NFL provides $1 million if the host committee can raise $1 million. And that $2 million has been distributed through various mechanisms. Well, much like the Business Connect program, we took what existed and we want to take it to a different level. So in December, we will actually be launching the 50 Fund. This is our legacy fund that will be the vehicle by which we make grants to nonprofit organizations. We are starting, again, like this Business Connect program, early because we want to, any resources that we have for this purpose, we want to start making that resource available to the community.
Right.
So there's a couple things that I would say specific to the type of organization and the type of work that your friend has done. First of all, we will be announcing grant programs starting in December in just a few weeks and throughout the year different grant programs with different eligibility criteria for nonprofits. We'll be focused mainly in 3 areas: youth, community investment, and sustainable local environment. In that, we want to find organizations throughout the Bay Area, the 9 counties, that are doing innovative work in their communities that are having an impact. We see that in a number of different ways. We're not going to be prescriptive about how that happens. We're going to actually let those ideas come from the community to us, and then we will make different sized amount grants out to the community. So more than that, we also want to showcase the organizations that we fund, as well as organizations even that apply through the process. Similar to Business Connect, we want to use Super Bowl as an organizing platform. It's a chance that we have not had in this region for many years. And if we don't do more than the bare minimum, we have really let our communities down. So that's why with the 50 Fund and with Business Connect, we want to try to make sure that there's a legacy of impact beyond that final whistle. You know, something that extends beyond 2016, of February of 2016.
Jason, I've been knowing you for a long time, and I really appreciate you. You keep pushing it. And,
well, I would say
and I like that grants program.
Good.
I would recommend also you have some kind of a ceremony when you award these grants, so that the public can know, you know, what you're doing and some of the 501c3s and what they are doing.
That's right.
And I think you've really captured the local participation part, which I think is great. There's still suspicion in the minority community, particularly the African American community, and I know you're not associated with the 49ers, and I love the 49ers, but we've not been done right by the 49ers, and they're building all around. We have to get over and see Google and all of some of those people who are coming to town, but they're not paying attention to those who are here that have made this city, and I love your program, and tomorrow, Ken, what you could do is ask the gentleman to come down at 7:30 and meet Jason and talk, and it's a great venue to come and learn. Now, I wanted to dovetail on a question I asked when we first got started. How are you going to ensure this local minority business, LBE, whatever you call it, how are you going to do that? I mean, you're going to have goals, or I asked that question before. Are you going to be there to make sure it happens?
So in 2 ways, and I'll address that directly. I want to just pick up on something you said, Ken, which, one, thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. But I would say to both of you, and I would say to your viewers, hold us accountable to these things. Hold me accountable to these things. I'm passionate about this, but right now at this early stage, we've just launched yesterday. I want to see results. I know we all want to see results. And what directly then addresses your question, Fred, is we are tracking everything. So, for example, even when to register for this event, we asked for your zip code. We asked for whether you are a minority-owned, a woman-owned, disabled veteran, or an LGBT business. Now, when we actually get to the formal program, those certifications will actually have to be verified by our third-party certifiers. So we are using the local affiliate of the National Minority Supplier Development Council.
Oh, yes.
We're using the local affiliate of
Very good.
We're using the local affiliate of the Women's Enterprise, the WeBank, the Women's Business Certification. We're using the California Department of General Services to certify our DVBEs. And we're using the Supplier Clearinghouse, which of course certifies both minority-owned, women-owned, disabled veteran-owned businesses, and through a law that was recently passed, will now also certify LGBT businesses. So through those channels, they will actually determine whether those businesses are who they say they are. We will track the business that we do, and we've actually included in our RFPs that we send out a requirement that our respondents tell us what their diversity of program is, and that we will ask them for a report on their spend in terms of their subcontractors as well. None of this, again, is going to happen without vigilance. So to your last question, will I be there? I'm going to try to be as everywhere as I can be, but I'm also trying to set up policies and programs that will allow us, and use technology, frankly, to be able to track this so we can be transparent. Again, and I mean this with all sincerity, we expect this Super Bowl to be the most inclusive ever when it comes to diverse
Excellent.
business participation.
Excellent.
But that said, we actually want to win more Super Bowls and more events. And so by tracking everything, wherever those numbers land, wherever our spend is, wherever how many suppliers we reach, both in terms of actual contracts as well as responses to invitations to bid, we want to use that publicly as the baseline for any future event that comes, that no one will be able to say, well, we can't find the businesses, because what we're trying to do through this program is build towards future Super Bowls, future events as well.
Okay, our time has ran out, but I want to ask you one other question. Is that, can we have you back maybe once a month or maybe once every 2 months or something like that, so we can can stay updated and bring public?
Happy to come back.
Okay.
I think every 2 months is probably better.
Right,
so I have
right,
something to
right,
say. I don't
right.
want to come back and
Right on.
not have
That's-
anything
yeah,
to tell
right on.
you. So
Right on. Thank you so much.
thank
man,
you,
for coming in.
thank you, thank
Hey,
you,
Jason.
Fred. Thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting
And
me.
thank you, folks, for watching. And we try to bring you what's going on, because this is the new stimulus package. Us.
Us.
It's us that are we that are doing things to try to uplift and bring new things to the community. Thank you for watching.